You know that voice? We all know that voice.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. The house is completely quiet. You're staring at the ceiling fan, and the internal narrator is just sitting there in the back of your head, pulling up a PowerPoint presentation of your greatest failures.
The greatest hits collection of your worst moments. Yeah, playing on an endless loop.
Exactly. It's the one that says, you're going to mess up this presentation, right before you walk into the room.
Or it always rains on your parade the second things start going well.
Or the classic, you're just not good enough for this. It's that old script just playing on repeat, grinding a deep groove into your mind.
The old script. It's the default setting for so many of us, and it is exhausting.
It's beyond exhausting. It's debilitating.
Yeah.
And today, we're going to learn how to delete that script. We're back with episode 11 of our series on Florence Scovel Shinn's classic work, The Game of Life, and how to play it.
That's right.
Today, we're tackling a tool that, it sounds a bit controversial at first glance, maybe even a little dangerous if you misunderstand it, but it's actually one of the most practical mental tools in existence. We're talking about denials.
And before people get the wrong idea, let's be crystal clear right out of the gate.
Please.
We are not talking about being in denial. That's a psychological defense mechanism where you just refuse to accept reality. That is absolutely not what we are doing here.
Right. We're going to clear that up immediately because I think that's where most people get stuck.
Yeah.
But the goal for this session is specifically to learn how to cancel the authority of those false beliefs and, rewire our mental habits. If this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one.
It's a crucial distinction. In Shinn's framework, which she laid out, way back in 1925, denials are the 11th essential rule of the game. But if you look at the source material we've gathered, ranging from her metaphysical texts to ancient Stoic philosophy and all the way to modern neuroscience and acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT, you realize she was describing a cognitive mechanic that we are just now fully understanding with science.
So lay it out for us. What's the mission of this specific exploration? What problem are we actually trying to solve here?
The mission is to understand that a denial, in this context, is not about ignoring reality. It's not pretending a problem doesn't exist.
Okay.
It's about removing the power from a negative belief system. It's about interrupting that neural groove.
Interrupting the neural groove. I love that phrase.
Shinn bridges her metaphysics with what psychologists today call cognitive reappraisal or cognitive diffusion.
Because that's what it feels like, right? It feels like a record player just stuck on a sad song.
Exactly.
So let's get into it. What exactly is a denial in Florence Scovel Shinn's world? Because when I hear that word, I think of the guy who refuses to look at his credit card bill. Because, if he doesn't see it, it isn't real.
And that's the common usage, absolutely. The ostrich approach, head in the sand.
Right.
But Shinn uses the word differently. For her, a denial is the conscious refusal to grant authority to a lie. It's an active, even aggressive mental stance.
Active.
Yes. She writes, denials remove power from false beliefs and false words. Think of it less like closing your eyes to the world and more like a judge in a courtroom ruling, objection sustained.
Oh, I like that.
You're striking a statement from the record because it's not valid evidence.
That's a really helpful image. So it's not saying the thought didn't happen.
No.
It's saying the thought doesn't count. It's inadmissible in the court of your life.
Precisely. Or, to use a more modern analogy, since we're all living in the digital age, imagine your mind is running this massive computer program.
Okay.
A denial is like finding a bug in a line of code, a line that says, if something new happens, initiate 10x sequence. And you're deleting that line so the program can run correctly.
You're debugging your own brain.
You're not smashing the computer, you're correcting the code.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate here, and I think this is the objection most listeners will have. We have to address the not denial of reality distinction.
Yes.
If my bank account is empty, or my relationship is falling apart, isn't it dangerous to just deny it? Isn't that just spiritually bypassing the problem?
That is the critical objection, and honestly, it's where most people get this wrong. Shinn is very clear, and the supporting psychology reinforces this. Denials are not the denial of facts.
So if the bank account is overdrawn?
That is a fact. You do not deny the math.
Right, the math is the math. You can't argue with arithmetic.
Exactly. You take responsibility. You still own your actions. You still set limits with people. You still act with wisdom and logic.
Right.
If you're sick, you go to the doctor. You don't just sit there and say, I deny this fever while your temperature spikes. That's foolishness, not faith.
So if we aren't denying the fever and we aren't denying the empty bank account, what exactly are we denying?
We are denying the power that the fact has to define your future or your identity. You deny the doom. You deny the belief that this means I am a failure forever. You deny the prediction, not the present moment. You're denying the implication that this temporary state is a permanent sentence.
Ah, I see. So the fact is, I have no money right now. The denial is directed at the story that says, and therefore I will always be poor because I am broken.
Exactly. And this connects beautifully to Stoic philosophy. We looked at the works of Epictetus for this, specifically the discipline of assent.
Okay, the discipline of assent.
The Stoics taught that there is an event, the stimulus, and then there is our judgment of the event, the assent.
The story we tell ourselves about it.
Yes, the Stoic does not deny the event. If it's raining, it's raining. But the Stoic denies the false judgment that this rain is a catastrophe or the universe hates me because it's raining.
That's the internal narrator again. The rain is just water falling from the sky. The narrator is the one adding all the drama and the tragedy.
Right. And Shinn is telling us to shut down the drama so we can deal with the water. Because you cannot fix the leak in the roof if you're curled up in a ball crying about how unfair the rain is.
You're just paralyzed.
You deny the paralysis so you can take the action.
Deny the power, not the fact.
That makes so much more sense. It's about emotional regulation, really. It's keeping your cool so you can actually function.
It is. It's about keeping your inner rule, as Marcus Aurelius would call it, clear of pollution. If you accept the judgment that this situation is hopeless, you've lost the game before you even take a step.
It's over.
A denial is the tool you use to clear the board so you can make your move.
So why is this so hard? I mean, why do we default to the negative story? Why is my brain's first reaction panic instead of calm assessment? This brings us to, I think, the next big piece, the loop.
The loop, yeah.
We have some fascinating research here on neuroscience and habits.
We do. We have to look at the brain's architecture.
Mhm.
The problem is repetition. You mentioned the groove earlier. That's, well, it's quite literal.
It's a real thing.
It is. When we think a thought like, I never get opportunities, neurons fire. And the fundamental rule of neuroplasticity is cells that fire together wire together.
So every time I repeat that sad story, I'm physically building a highway in my brain for that story to travel on.
You are reinforcing the infrastructure of that belief. Think of it like walking through a field of tall grass. The first time you walk a path, it's hard. You have to push the grass aside.
Yes, sir.
But if you walk that same path every single day for 10 years, well, the grass dies. The dirt gets back down. It becomes the path of least resistance.
And the brain loves the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
It's lazy in that way.
It craves efficiency. This involves a part of the brain called the basal ganglia. This is the ancient part of the brain responsible for habit formation. Its primary job is to save energy.
Okay.
When you do something or think something enough times, the basal ganglia says, okay, we know this pattern. We don't need the conscious mind for this anymore. Let's automate it.
And that's the habit loop?
It turns a conscious choice into an automatic loop. Cue, routine, reward.
And the routine can be a thought pattern. It doesn't have to be, smoking a cigarette or biting your nails.
Absolutely. The cue might be a criticism from your boss. The routine is the thought. I am going to get fired. I am useless.
And the reward. What's the reward for thinking you're useless?
Oddly enough, it's familiarity. The brain likes certainty. Even if the certainty is miserable, it feels safe because it's known territory.
Wow. That's terrifying. So we're kind of addicted to our own misery because it's efficient.
In a way, yes. Shinn talks about these grooves in the subconscious. She says the subconscious is a faithful servant. It has no sense of humor and no judgment of its own.
It just takes orders.
It just manifests what we go upon. If you keep giving it the instruction, I am a failure, the subconscious or the basal ganglia says, understood, running the I am a failure program.
So if we don't deny the old thought, the brain just treats it as a valid instruction.
Correct. Your attention creates your reality in a neurological sense.
Right.
Every time you ruminate on a fear, you are voting for it. You're telling your brain, this is important, keep looking for this.
Attention creates neural grooves.
That puts a lot of weight on what we let our minds dwell on. It's not just thinking, it's programming.
It is.
So how do we stop it? We need a protocol. We need a way to stop the code from running.
We do. And fortunately, both Shinn and modern psychology give us a very similar roadmap. We can break it down into a method. It's a 4-step protocol. Recognize, deny, replace, and act.
Okay, let's walk through these slowly because I want to make sure I can actually do this next time I'm spiraling. So
Yeah.
Step 1, recognize.
You have to spot the old script. This is where mindfulness comes in. You can't change a habit you don't even notice.
Right.
The Stoics called this testing impressions.
Right.
When a thought hits you, it's too late for me. You have to pause. You have to catch it and ask, is this true? Or is this just a habit? Is this a fact? Or is this my basal ganglia just playing an old record?
It sounds simple, but in the moment, that thought feels so real. It feels like the absolute truth.
It feels like a fact.
Yeah.
And that's why you need step 2, deny authority. This is the core of Shinn's teaching, and it maps directly to cognitive diffusion in acceptance and commitment therapy.
Cognitive diffusion.
You have to separate yourself from the thought.
How do we do that? What do we say?
You use a phrase that breaks the fusion. In ACT, you might say something like, I'm noticing I'm having the thought that I am a failure. You see the distance. You're the noticer, not the thought.
Right.
In Shinn's language, which is a bit more authoritative, you say, I deny this appearance of lack. I deny this appearance of limitation.
Or just, I deny the power of this thought.
Yes, you're stripping it of its rank. You're saying you do not get to drive the bus. You are effectively shouting cut on a movie set because you don't like the line.
Okay, so we've stopped the bus, we yelled cut, but we're still sitting there on the side of the road.
Right. And you cannot leave a vacuum. The brain hates a vacuum. If you just say, stop thinking about the pink elephant, what do you immediately think about?
The pink elephant. Every single time.
Exactly. So you need step 3. Replace with truth. Shinn calls this the law of substitution. You must insert a new, true instruction.
A new line of code.
A new line of code. If you deny the belief I am weak, you must immediately affirm I am strong and capable. You have to give the basal ganglia a new program to run. You have to pave a new path in the grass.
And finally, step 4, act in alignment. This is the one I think people miss. They do the affirmation, and then they sit on the couch waiting for the doorbell to ring.
Oh, absolutely. Faith without works is dead. That's the biblical wisdom Shinn relies on, and psychology calls it behavioral activation.
Behavioral activation.
You must do something that proves you believe the new truth. You have to move your feet. If you affirm abundance, you can't walk around pinching every penny in fear. If you affirm health, you have to eat a vegetable. You have to signal to your nervous system that the new reality is here.
Recognize, deny, replace, act.
I really like that structure. It moves it out of the realm of, magic and into the realm of training. It's mental athletics. Let's make this concrete. Let's do some practical examples. Apply this method to the things people actually struggle with. First up, work.
This is a big one. Let's look at the loop. Let's say you're Sarah. You've been in the same role for 3 years. The cue is seeing a colleague get promoted, or maybe just looking at a stagnant bank account.
Yeah.
The loop plays, I never get opportunities. I'm stuck here. They don't appreciate me.
Oh, I've felt that. It feels heavy. It feels like resentment. So how do we fix it?
Apply the denial. First catch it. Aha, that's the victim script. Then deny. I deny the belief that I am stuck or overlooked. That is a lie. I deny the power of this resentment.
And the replacement. What's the new thought?
You replace it with a truth about your own agency. My skill is valuable and creates its own lane. Or Shinn might say, infinite spirit opens the way for my right work, something that empowers you.
Okay, and the action. Because if Sarah just says that and then goes back to sulking at her desk, nothing changes.
The action is contribution. This is key. You do excellent work today, regardless of the recognition. You engage. You treat your current job with the dignity of the job you want. That breaks the loop of resentment. You stop acting like a victim and start acting like a leader.
Work, skill, creates opportunity.
That shifts the energy completely. Instead of waiting to be saved, you're working your way out.
You're creating the opportunity.
Okay, example 2. Relationships. This one is tough because it usually involves other people hurting us.
It does. The loop here is often, people always betray me, or I always get hurt. This comes from past trauma, and it is a very, very deep groove.
Right.
It's a defense mechanism trying to keep you safe.
It's trying to protect you by telling you everyone is dangerous.
It is, but it ends up just isolating you. So we apply the fix, denial. I deny the power of past betrayal to dictate my future. I deny the idea that I am a magnet for bad behavior.
That's powerful. I deny the power of the past. You're cutting the cord.
You have to. Then, replacement. I attract honest connections, and I trust my own discernment.
Oh, note the word discernment.
Yes, we aren't saying I blindly trust everyone. That's not wise. We are saying I trust myself to see the red flags.
And the action.
Boundaries. You assess trust based on present behavior, not past ghosts. You go out on that date or you have that conversation, but you keep your eyes open. You act with an open heart but a guarded mind.
So you don't punish the new person for the old person's crimes.
You can't. That's not fair to them or to you.
Relationships. Trust. Through discernment.
Discernment is such a better word than suspicion. Okay, example 3, habits. This is for the people trying to go to the gym or quit smoking or write that book.
The loop is, I slipped up, I missed a day, I always fail at this, I might as well give up.
The what the hell effect. I ate one cookie, so I might as well eat the entire box.
Exactly. It's binary thinking, all or nothing, success or failure.
So the fix.
Denial. That is an old story of a past version of me. One slip is not a fall. I deny the verdict of failure.
And the replacement.
I am capable of consistency and growth. I am a person who shows up.
And the action? This one seems obvious but hard.
A clean restart. You do the habit once today. Just once. You don't worry about the streak. You just do the rep. You prove to the brain that the failure was a glitch, not a permanent crash.
Habits. Consistency over perfection.
Consistency over perfection. That is the mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to get the listener involved now. Let's do a guided exercise, a denial reset. If you're listening, maybe pause for a second if you need to, or just play along. We're going to do the work right now.
Let's do it. So step first. Identify the loop. I want you to find the exact sentence you keep repeating in your mind. The one that makes you feel small. Maybe it's too late for me, or I'm too disorganized, or I will be alone forever. Find the sentence.
Got it. It's usually the one that hurts the most. The one you're almost afraid to say out loud.
Okay, step next. Label it. Say to yourself, this is an old script, or this is just a recording. Don't argue with it, just label it. This reduces the emotional reactivity in the amygdala. It takes the teeth out of it.
Label the old script.
It feels less scary when you call it a script. It's just words. It's not reality. It's just lines on a page someone else wrote.
Step next. Deny cleanly. Say, that is not the truth of me. Refuse to give it assent. Imagine you are hitting the delete key on your keyboard. Visualize it vanishing.
Delete. Gone.
Step next. Replace. Create a true direction statement. And it doesn't have to be, toxic positivity. It doesn't have to be, I am a billionaire. It just has to be true.
Yeah.
I am moving forward one step at a time.
I'm learning how to handle this.
I'm open to new possibilities.
I am moving forward. That feels solid. It feels achievable.
Step next. Choose a small action. Pick one tiny physical action that matches the new direction. If your new truth is, I am organized, put one dish in the dishwasher.
If it's, I am healthy, drink 1 glass of water.
Just one thing. Prove it to yourself. And step finally. Remove a contradiction. Identify one thing you do that feeds the old script.
Oof.
Are you doom scrolling? Are you calling a friend just to complain? Are you engaging in some self-sabotage ritual? Stop it for today, just for today.
Remove the contradiction.
That's the kicker. You can't ask for a new life while you're still feeding the old one. You can't be on a diet and eat donuts for breakfast.
Precisely. You cannot plant flowers while pouring acid on the soil. It just doesn't work.
Which brings us to a really important part.
Out?
The common mistakes. Because this sounds easy in theory, but it's a discipline. It's hard work. So where do people go wrong?
Well, we see 5 common pitfalls where people get tripped up. Mistake first is what we touched on earlier. Denying the fact.
The ostrich, putting your head in the sand.
Right. And the fix is radical acceptance. You acknowledge the situation, okay, I lost the job, but you deny the doom or the permanence of it.
You face the music, but you don't agree that the song is over.
You face the storm, but you don't agree to drown.
Okay. Mistake second.
Using willpower instead of truth. People try to grit their teeth and force the negative thought away. They fight it.
I will not think about this. I will not think about this. Which, of course, makes you think about it more.
It creates so much tension. The more you resist, the more it persists. Shinn advises calm confidence. It's a mental shift, not a physical fight. You don't fight darkness with a stick, you just turn on the light.
It should feel like a relief.
It should feel like a release, not a battle.
Calm confidence, not force.
That's a huge distinction. It shouldn't be exhausting. Okay, mistake third.
Forgetting the replacement. We mentioned this before. If you deny without affirming, you leave a void.
The pink elephant comes back.
The old thought will rush back in to fill the space. Nature abhors a vacuum. So always, always follow a denial with an affirmation.
Got it. Mistake fourth.
Inconsistent practice. People do it once, feel a little better, and then they stop.
And the groove is still there.
The groove is still there. It's mental hygiene. You brush your teeth every day because plaque builds up. You don't brush your teeth once in January and say, well, I'm good for the year.
Huh, right.
You have to clear your mind every day because fear and doubt build up. You have to treat it like a daily requirement for mental clarity.
And the last one, mistake fifth.
Expecting magic without action,
Yeah.
just sitting on the couch, manifesting a marathon without ever putting on your running shoes.
Yeah.
The fix is simple. Faith without works is dead. You must move your feet. The denial clears the path, but you still have to walk it.
So let's pull this all together. Let's do a recap. We've covered a lot of ground between, 1925 metaphysics and 2025 neuroscience.
Let's distill it. First, denials are tools to remove power from false beliefs. They don't erase facts, they erase the authority of the negative story.
Right. They're not about ignoring reality or avoiding responsibility.
And remember that the brain builds grooves based on what we repeat. That's not woo, that's neuroscience.
So we must interrupt the loop to change the outcome. We have to be the circuit breaker.
And the method for that is to recognize, deny, replace, and then act.
And this practice requires consistency, not brute force. It's hygiene, not a fight.
Exactly. And finally, and this is maybe the most important part, your internal script dictates your external performance.
Change script, change life.
Change script, change life. It really is that fundamental. We are the writers, the directors, and the actors in this play of our lives.
We are, and we have the power to edit the script at any moment. We just have to be willing to pick up the pen.
I love that. Well, this has been a massive unpack of a really powerful tool. I'm already looking forward to our next session. We're heading into episode 12, The Law of the Word.
Yes. So we've cleared the weeds with denials. Next, we learn how to plant the garden with precise language.
Oh, that's good.
We're going to look at the specific architecture of how we speak, the words we choose, and how that shapes our reality.
Cannot wait. Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist. And please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
And I encourage you, just practice one denial reset today. Just one. Catch that old script, hit delete, and write a new line for yourself.
See you next time.